Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Ankerstar Wealth Market Update. I'm your host, Allison Ankerstar, and today we'll be talking about Steve's forecast for crypto, the best way to own Bitcoin and Ethereum, and his opinion on the rest of the cryptocurrency space. But before we begin, as a reminder, this financial education presentation should not be construed as personal financial advice. Full disclaimer information is available at ankerstarwealth.com. Good morning, Steve. You mentioned a favorable outlook for crypto during Wednesday's Investment Advisory Board meeting. Can you explain your view a little more?
Hey, good morning, Allison, and everybody. Thanks for checking us out. We're having some technical issues this morning. We're still kind of stuck on Wednesday after the investment brief. But here we are, and there was no brief yesterday. So if you're looking for it, you are not going crazy. We took the day off. All right. Question is crypto. I mentioned it favorably during the investment advisory board meeting, and I wanted to go a little more in depth because all I did was just a touch and go during the meeting. But here's kind of why I think crypto is uniquely positioned still to go higher from here. You know, it's bounced quite a bit from its lows. We'll just pull up the Bitcoin chart here and take a look at that. It went from, above 60. If the computer cooperates, let's go. There it is. All right. So went to above 60 here, peaking out at 67, dropped all the way down to 35 or so. So almost half, and then somewhat bouncing from there. So all of crypto isn't tied to Bitcoin, of course, but Bitcoin being the major player in the space is a pretty good version to talk about the whole crypto space as a whole, right? So what is unique right now, I think the Ukraine-Russia conflict has given some credibility to crypto as the Russian central bank raised their own short-term rate to something crazy like 20%, basically devaluing their own money. Billionaires and oligarchs from Russia not being able to hide their money from the government because it's in the ruble. I think they will go to things like Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. So I think that's one piece of it. And then secondly, here in the U.S., you've got inflation, you've got the Fed raising interest rates. There's all kinds of stats out there. I don't even know what's true anymore, but 40% all money that's ever been printed in the U.S. dollars in the past 3 years. I don't know if that's political hyperbole or nonsense, but I do know we have printed quite a bit, and we certainly see inflation on a daily basis. Does going into crypto save you from inflation? No. It can make you feel like it, but no, not really. But I think what we're going to see here, crypto is back, if you will, after that big hard sell-off we had from November to February. People believe again, and again, when people believe and nobody's selling and other people want to buy it, that's a recipe for going up. So in conclusion, there's a couple ways to own it, but overall, if you're getting into crypto here, I think it's a good time to get in.
Next, can you explain how investors can own crypto without owning it outright?
Yeah, so when I say it's a good time to get in, I guess I should have qualified that with if it's within your risk tolerance, right? If you think it's a bunch of nonsense, don't invest in it. I don't care how risky you are. If you don't believe, then don't be in it. But if you do believe or you're interested, manage it with the position size in your portfolio to where if it ends poorly, you're not hurt. The basics of money management and diversification. You have to consider it speculative. So I say up to 10% of a portfolio. That's not 10 with an extra zero. That would be 100. Don't do that, right? To just 10% of your portfolio, and then monitor it. But if you believe, you really aren't looking to sell it on dips. You're really looking to just hold it and see how the story plays out. And I think it's going to be a while before the story plays out. But specifically to your question, Allison, about how to hold it through a proxy. I'm a simple guy. I do not want a coin wallet. I do not want to trade it on Venmo or Zelle or whatever's going on out there. I want to own it in one place, and that's in my Schwab account. So I look for ways to own it in my Schwab account. So therefore, I've got a couple of proxies for you. If you're an investor with me for a while, you've already seen these. I used to be in this one, GBTC. It's perfectly legit. I just like MicroStrategy better once I can type. So there's your grayscale Bitcoin trust. It kind of, that's a 1 day chart. It's got to the 1 year. So you can see it it's close, but not exact. That's why a lot of people leave it, because it's not exact. Well, nothing's exact when you're using a proxy. But I think it's close enough. And if you want to GBTC here, that works. It's my second favorite. There's a expense ratio down here that's a little shocking. Well, for some reason my eyes aren't seeing it, but it's 2% basically. A lot of people don't like to pay that on a basic index fund, so I don't blame you. So that's why I switched to MicroStrategy, which is actually a software firm, but it's run by Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is one of the biggest Bitcoin proponents out there. Click to the 1-year chart. That is more like the actual Bitcoin chart than anything else. Yes, they have a core product offering, but really they follow the Bitcoin. It's the most widely held. I can't say that. I think it's the most widely held Bitcoin proxy. I can say that out there. So that's why if you're with me and you're invested in this, that's why you're in it. It's just tracking the price of Bitcoin. And again, Michael Saylor is obviously a perfect proponent of that, because he literally never stops tweeting about it. For Ethereum, I do like the trust. In this case, it's the same grayscale Ethereum trust. Computers having a Monday like I am here. I can see it thinking, but when it pulls up the chart after it stops thinking here, you're going to see that Ethereum, instead of going into a coin wallet and buying it that way, you can use ETHE. I guess it's not going to pull up. So my point being, why do I do that? Well, a little bit of laziness. I'll give you that. I'll say simplicity. That's probably nicer than laziness, but it's probably both. I wanted everything in one place. And secondly, come tax time, I do not want to have to learn crypto tax law, right? I know securities law, securities tax law, right? That's my area of specialty. So I understand when a 1099B shows up that's 100 pages long, I understand everything in it. I have no desire to learn what it would even look like out of a coin wallet or any of those tax complications. So I know how companies do it, so I invest in the companies that are behind it, and that's what I recommend for everybody.
Last, what is your take on the rest of crypto space outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Well, Ali, I generally stay away from the rest of the space. We'll see if anything pulls up here while I'm talking. You have, basically, we'll go back to the overall crypto tab. So yeah, Bitcoin, Ethereum are over here, and I like them because they're green and everything else is red. That's a joke. I'm just kidding. That's not always the case, but they are to the far left because they're the kind of the biggest and brightest, if you will. There, they would of course turn red while I'm talking. Ripple, XRP, what I would say is the third player in the space, and then everything to the right of that is, to me, speculation. Are there going to be particular uses for certain coins? Of course, that will all come out in the wash. But I think there is super risk on the right-hand side. If you're out of Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe Ripple, it could go to zero. I don't think Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple are going to zero. They may not go to 1 million or 100,000 or wherever you think they're going. But I think there's a safety in those names, so that's why I recommend that. That's why I recommend staying high on the scale here for crypto. If you wanted all those, CRPT is a crypto fund. It appears functionality is not appearing to work. But CRPT is the ticker for the overall index fund where you can own crypto. See if I can strike out twice here. All right, here we go. There it is in Yahoo. So let's go to a 1 year. So we're looking at the same thing. So yeah, about the same across the board, right? But it's tracking the entire industry. And then the next one, if you want a unique play, and this has not really worked, but there's a consulting company, CRCW. Excuse me. It's it is it's either a fund or a company. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot in it, obviously. It's down below $5, so there's some risk there. Again, it tracks the overall industry, if you will, and company outlook. So it is a company. Nope, got to pay for that. All right, blame that on a technicality. Can't look at that. But that's another way if you're interested in something a little more speculative. Even more speculative than just the crypto is the crypto company, which again is consulting and all that. So it is a company, not a fund. So overall, if you want in this space, I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are it. Use the proxies, and I would not really touch anything else.
Thank you everyone for your questions. Please submit your questions as a comment through social media or directly to our email at vipservices@ankerstarwealth.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe to get daily updates. That's all we have for today's show. I'm Allison Ankerstar, and we'll see you back here Monday.